everyone, welcome back to Down the Track. In this episode, we'll be doing a fantasy picks for our second doubleheader of the season. It's going to be on Wednesday. There's two matches going on. Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Punjab Kings is the first game, and the second game is Chennai Super Kings versus the Kolkata Knight Riders. So we'll be doing the fantasy picks for both games in this episode. Let's start off with the first game. We'll pick 6 players there, and then we'll pick 6 players for the second game as well. In the official IPL fantasy website, you can change your team up in between games. So after the first game is done, you can change your captain. You can bring in some players for the next game as well. And yeah, I think you weren't allowed to do that in the last season, but this season you can do that. You can make changes in between games on a double header. So let's start off with the first game, Sunrisers versus Punjab. My batsman, first of all, let's talk about my first pick will be David Warner. I think, yes, he's not had the greatest of starts with the IPL, especially as captain, but we saw in the second game he scored a 50. In the third game as well, he got a start against Mumbai, made 30 runs. He got run out. Maybe he doesn't look as fluent self, but he's definitely in and amongst the runs. I'm sure he's just a few innings away. And the main thing about the Sunrisers team is they've played already 3 games on this Chennai pitch, which is not the easiest pitch to bat on. So I think they have an idea of it. And I think the likes of Warner, BAIRSTOW, even Manish Pandey to a certain extent, they now understand how the pitch works and what is required of them. You don't really need to attack every single ball, but you have to rotate the strike as well. So I'm going to go David Warner as my first batsman pick. For my second pick, I know JONNY he kept in the last game, but he batted in the first 2 games. So right now I'm just going to pick him as a batsman because I have plenty of amazing keeper choices. So I'm going to go BAIRSTOW. And as my batsman, my second batsman, he's in fine nick. It's been last couple of months, he's been timing the ball beautifully. The way he picks it up and just deposits it over the ropes is just unbelievable. I think the way he was aggressive against Bolt as well and Milne in the first game, it was brilliant. He was already like 40 runs of 15 balls. Unfortunately, he treaded onto his stumps. If he stayed there, he could have scored more runs. And I think he's in fine form right now. In the Sunrisers team, he looks like the batsman who is in form. And the Chennai pitch is not bothering him too much. And he's back in his opening position. I think he prefers that, the power play, new ball, take advantage of the field restrictions, hit as many boundaries as possible. And yeah, I think if he continues to open the batting, he will get you some points. And that's why I'm going with him as my second batsman. For my wicketkeeper, I'm going KL Rahul. Yes, they're going to play in Chennai now, Punjab, which is different to Mumbai. But KL Rahul is a player that, despite his strike rate, there is criticism of that. But despite that, he will get you runs. He will get that start. And there's a lot of responsibility on him in this team. He understands the top order has to fire, and he's someone who's trying to anchor the innings. Yes, sometimes he will have to accelerate, especially when a new batsman comes in and needs time to settle in. But I think he's a bank when it comes to runs, KL Rahul in the IPL, and we've seen that throughout last season and this season as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go KL Rahul as my wicket-keeping batsman option. And then for my all-rounder, there's not many options because we're not sure if Jason Holder will start. We're not sure if Mohammad Nabi will start for Punjab. I don't think Chris Jordan, will he get a game or not? So there's not too many options. I'm just going with Shah Rukh Khan. I heard he can bowl a bit, but I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know if I can pick him as my all-rounder pick, but I'm going to go DEEPAK HOODA. I think he can roll the arm over a bit. We saw in the last game, bowled a few overs, so he'll be my all-rounder. And with the bat, he's been performing. He's got a few runs. In the first game, his 50 was just, bludgeoning. It was a blistering knock. And I think he is in decent form. So I'm going to go HOODA as my all-rounder pick. And then for the bowlers, Rashid Khan, no doubt, he didn't pick up a wicket against Mumbai, but he was very close to picking one up. And he, on these pitches, it's very difficult, especially in Chennai, to face him. He will continue to pick up wickets. Yes, I know sometimes batsmen do play him out and don't give him a wicket, and his economy is brilliant. But I still feel on these wickets, he will trouble batsmen and pick up wickets as well. The LBW will come into play, catches will come into play, stumpings will come into play with him. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Rashid Khan. If Mujib plays, he'll also be a pick, but I don't know if he's going to be certain. But yeah, I'm going to go Rashid Khan as my first bowler pick. And my second bowler pick is ARSHDEEP Singh. I just think on these Chennai pitches, he's a bit slower than a medium pace fast bowler, but he's faster than a spinner. And he bowls those cutters and everything. I think on this pitch, he'll be lethal, to be honest with you. We saw in Mumbai already, he's caused problems and picked up wickets. And I think in this kind of pitch is just perfect for ARSHDEEP. It's going to be tailor-made. He will pick up wickets, I feel, and he's a bargain price. in the fantasy game. So it'll balance out the likes of Warner, Bairstow, and Rahul, who are expensive. If you get in someone like ARSHDEEP, I think it'll balance your budget a bit. So he's going to be my second bowler. So for the first game, my players will be Warner, Bairstow, Rahul, DEEPAK, HOODA, ARSHDEEP, SINGH, and Rashid Khan. And then moving on to the second game is the Chennai Super Kings versus the Kolkata Knight Riders. KKR coming in after a loss against RCB, whereas CSK have beat Rajasthan and are looking very confident. Some key contributions from their players. So yeah, it'll be the same formation. Let's go 2 batsmen, keeper, all-rounder, and 2 bowlers. My first batsman will be NITISH Rana. I think he's in fine form right now. Yes, he got out early against RCB, but even there he was hitting boundaries. If he can just, and I think he'll enjoy this Mumbai pitch more than the Chennai pitch. I think the ball will come on more, and even for longer periods, it won't slow down as much as in Chennai after the first 10 overs. So I think he can bat longer and score more runs. And he's looking in good touch. His timing is really good. His offside play has been fantastic, even through the leg side. I just feel that he just needs to pick the gap. Sometimes he hits it straight to the fielder, but apart from that, he's hitting it really well with NITISH Rana. So I'm going to go out with him as my first batsman pick. My second batsman pick is Faf du Plessis. I just saw him against Rajasthan and I'm very impressed the way he played. Some of his shots were just outstanding. That pickup shot, was brilliant. And I think he's finding his feet now after a couple of rusty games. And with the new ball, I think he will take advantage for Chennai and give them a really good start. And I think now that he's got a 30 odd under his belt, he can convert that to 50s, 60s, and you'll see some good innings from Faf. I feel he's getting into that rhythm. So I'm going to go Faf du Plessis as my second batsman. For my wicketkeeper is between Karthik and Dhoni. 2 guys who have played for India. They competed for the wicket-keeping spot there as well. I just feel Dhoni is, as a batsman right now, he's not fully in the groove. He's still rusty. As a captain and keeper, there's no doubt about him. But as a batsman, he's not fully in the groove. Whereas Dinesh Karthik also hasn't really proved much. But there's one innings against Sunrisers. He really finished off the innings really well. He made like 20 odd in just 8-9 deliveries. So I think Dinesh Karthik has shown in this season already that he can hit the runs and score when needed. And I think if he comes in a bit early, you might expect some more runs from him as well. So I'm going to go Dinesh Karthik as my keeper. And then for my all-rounder, there's a lot of options. There's Andre Russell, there's Ravindra Jadeja, there's Dwayne Bravo, a plethora of options, Sunil Narine if he plays. But I'm going to go with Moeen Ali, the man in form. Whether it's with the bat or the ball, he's just, turning dust into gold. Is just, right now, he's just killing it. Absolutely brilliant performances. He's chipping in with the bat. He's getting those runs. And then with the ball, he's chipping in with wickets. He's liking conditions in Mumbai as well, even though it's not as conducive as Chennai, but he's proving to be that X factor for Chennai Super Kings, and he's going to be my all-rounder pick. He got a lot of points in the last game against Rajasthan, and I'm sure he'll get points in this game as well. And so he's my all-rounder pick, Moeen Ali. And then for bowlers, I'm going to go Varun Chakravarthhy. Picked up a couple of wickets against RCB. He's not that easy to pick. He's a mystery kind of bowler. He will pick up wickets, I feel, and I think this game is a good game, especially against the left-handers. Against Moeen Ali and Rana, he'll trouble them, he'll trouble them a bit against the spin as well. So I'm going to go Varun Chakravarthy as my first bowler. My second bowler, a lot of people are talking about, there's a lot of options. There's Deepak Chahar, there is Pat Cummins. There's there's the young lads in KKR, there's Prasidh Krishna as well, but I'm just going to go with Shardul Thakur. I think he is a wicket taker, natural wicket taker. He picked up a wicket against Rajasthan. He hasn't picked up as many as he would have liked so far in the IPL, but he's a type of bowler who's once he gets into rhythm, even if he's not in rhythm, he'll pick up wickets. So I think he bowled better against Rajasthan. Is very economical, and I think that will give him confidence going into this game, and he can pick up more wickets. He has the variation, so even if it's a bad day in the office, he'll pick you up a couple of wickets, I feel. Let's see, it hasn't been his greatest IPL so far, but I'm sure he'll work on that and he'll do well for his team. So that's my CSK versus KKR lineup for fantasy. My batsmen are NITISH Rana and Faf du Plessis. My keeper is Dinesh Karthik. My all-rounder is Moeen Ali, and my bowlers are Varun Chakravarthy and Shardul Thakur. That wraps up the fantasy picks for both games. Make sure you like and comment with your fantasy picks. Who do you think will perform? I think for the first game, I'm going to go as BAIRSTOW as my captain. If he does play and is confirmed, I'm going to go BAIRSTOW as my captain. RASHID probably vice captain. And then in the second game, we'll go for probably Moin Ali is my captain. I think he can provide both bat and ball. Who will you go as captain, vice captain? Who do you think will perform? Who are your picks for these two games for this doubleheader? And like and subscribe and share our channel. And thank you so much for joining. And take care. Catch you soon.